lecture or religious talk. In Hindi we can say pravachan or आध्यात्मिक उपदेश. Gautama Buddha began life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam. Gautam Buddha, we know very well and we all are familiar with this name. And in his childhood, he was a prince and his name was Siddhartha. And his birth was in 563 BC. BC means before Christ, and died in 483 BC. In northern India, and he belonged to northern India. At 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later he returned home to marry a princess. So when he was 12 years old, that time he was sent away for schooling for the teaching purpose. He went to the Hindu sacred scriptures, and after 4 years when he returned home, because he married with a princess, they had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. Befitted royalty means luxurious life. For 10 years, Gautam Buddha means that time his name was Siddhartha. He married with a princess and he spent 10 years with his wife. At about the age of 25, the prince, heretofore shielded from the suffering of the world, while out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. So when he was only 25 years old, so once he went, that time he knew about the sufferings of the world, means the problems of the world. Till that he didn't know about that how the poor people or how the sick people faces problems in their life, because he was a prince. He was a prince and he had a very good life, just like he had all the facilities available in his kingdom. So he was unaware about the problems, about the miseries of the people of his kingdom. But when he knew about all these miseries, when he became 25 years old, while out hunting, so once he went out for hunting, from the, chance upon a sick man, then an aged man. So he met with a sick man, then old man. Aged man means old man, and then a funeral procession, and finally a monk. Monk sent just like, and what they were doing, they were begging for alms. Alms means bhik. They were begging for money and they were begging for things or the eating things. These sights so moved him that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree. So, on the day when he went out for hunting, he met with a sick man, an old man, and with a monk. That time he understood the problems of a normal person life. So after that he left his home, and for 7 years he wandered. It means he moved from here to there, and he wanted to know about the sorrows of a person. And later then finally he sat down under a peepal tree, where he vowed to stay, and where he promised to himself, vowed means promised, to stay until enlightenment came. Enlightenment means knowledge, gyan. And he decided that I will sit there until I will not get the proper knowledge. Enlightened after 7 days, he renamed the tree the Bodhi tree. And after the 7 days, he kept the name of that peepal tree where he sat down under the tree. He kept Bodhi tree, name of that peepal tree, because under this tree he got the knowledge. Tree of wisdom. Bodhi tree means tree of wisdom. And began to teach and to share his new understanding. And later then he started to give a religious lectures to the other people. At that point he became known as Buddha, and later then he popular by this name Buddha. The awakened or the enlightened. The Buddha preached his first sermon. Preach means that the religious lecture. The first sermon at the city of Banaras, most holy of the dipping places on the river Gangas. That sermon has been preserved and is given here. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about a one unscrutable kind of suffering. Unscrutable means which cannot be understood. And later then he started to give these lectures to the other persons, and those have any kind of problem, they came to near the Buddha and he was just solving all the problems. So now in this chapter there is a short story given. Kisa Gautami, there was a lady whose name was Kisa Gautami. Kisa Gautami had an only son, and that lady had only one son. And he died, and unfortunately her son died. But she was unaware about it, that my son is no more. She was thinking like that, maybe something happened with him, and if I will go to near the Buddha, maybe he will cure. So she went near to the Gautam Buddha. In her grief means sorrow, dukh. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine. And the people said, she has lost her senses. The boy is dead. So first of all, because she was in problem, so she went to her neighbor's house. And why? Because she was asking for medicines for her son. But all the people, they were saying to Kisa Gautami that your son is died. At length, Kisa Gautami met a man who replied to her request. I cannot give the medicine for the child, but I know a physician who can. At last, she met with a person and who replied to Kisa Gautami that I have not medicines for your son, but I know one physician who can take care of your son. And the girl said, pray tell me, sir, who is it? And the man replied, go to Sakyamuni, the Buddha. And later then that person preferred that Gautam Buddha's name, that you should go there, maybe he will have some solutions. Kisa Gautami repaired to the Buddha and cried. Here repaired means went. So she went to the Buddha and cried, Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy. The Buddha answered, I want a handful or mustard seed. But when he saw that boy, when Gautam Buddha saw that boy, he understood that he is died. But he cannot tell to that lady directly that now your son is no more. So first what he replied that first you have to bring mustard seed, means sarso ke beej. In Hindi we are using rai, sarso. So first of all he said like that, I want a handful of mustard seed. Handful means muthi bhar. Handful mustard seeds. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, the Buddha added, and later than as the lady started her journey, Gautam Buddha stopped herself, and because now also something he wanted to tell to the Kisa Gautami. The Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent or friend. But now the condition was that you have to bring this handful mustard seeds from a house, and in that house not any other child, friend, parent or husband or wife not died. मतलब एक ऐसे घर से आपको ये सरसों लाना है जहाँ पर आज तक किसी की भी डेथ ना हुई, but this is not possible. But that time that lady didn't know about it, that Gautam Buddha, whatever the condition he has given, that is impossible. Poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her. Pitied means they were feeling very sorry for Kisa Gautami. and said, "Here is a mustard seed, take it." But when she asked, "Did a son or daughter, a father or mother die in your family?" they answered her, "Alas, the living are few, but the dead are many." Because we also know about this thing that in each family there is not any other family in this world who have not lost any other family member, because it's a truth of our life. So they were replying that living are few, मतलब जो जीवित है वो तो बहुत कम है, लेकिन अगर हम डेड पर्सन्स को गिने जाए तो उनका नंबर है वो बहुत ज्यादा है. So they answered her, "The living are few, but the dead are many. Don't remind us of our deepest gift." So now if you will ask about dead persons, those belongs to our family, surely we will feel very sorry for them. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. Kisa Godmi became weary. Weary means tired. Now at last she became very tired and hopeless, and sat down at the wayside, watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and were extinguished again. At last the darkness of the night resigned everywhere, and she considered the fate of men. And later then, when she became tired, at last she sat down and she started to look at the lights and were anguished means and to shining. And later then she realized that whatever thing arise in this world, after some time again they came to a ending point. So the same thing happened with human beings also. If anyone has taken birth, it means he or she has to die also in this world. And she considered the fate of men, that their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. It means later then she understood that if anyone has taken birth in this world, it means after some time, whatever the time period given by the God to him or her, later then he or she has to come at the ending part of his or her life. And she thought to herself, "How selfish am I in my grief. Death is common to all, yet in this valley of desolation there is a path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness." And at the end she understood that how selfish I am, because all people are losing their family members and I am cried for my son. It means I am only selfish. The Buddha said, "The life of mortals in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain." Then Gautam Buddha replied to the lady that if anyone has not any kind of pain, it means he cannot survive in this world. It means those are living in this world, surely they will have any kind of problems. They have to face problems in their life, because this is a part of our life. For there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. If anyone has born, it means they have to meet with death also. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. And later then, Gautam Buddha had given one example, that as the ripe fruits, जिस तरह से एक फल पक जाता है, after that surely it will fall down from the tree. So the same thing happened with the human beings also. When they will come in their old age, it means after that they have to meet with death. As all other vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is the life of mortals, both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise. All fall into the power of death. All are subjected to death. It means this is a common thing, whether a people is fool or he is a very wise person, but death is a immortal truth of our life. Of those who overcome by death depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen their relations. Mark. While relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply. Lamenting means show grief or expressing sorrow or sadness for our relatives. Deeply, one by one mortals are carried off, like an ox that is led to the slaughter. So the world is afflicted with a death and decay. Therefore, the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. So the wise person, they never cry for the relatives, those met with death, because they know this is the reality of our life. Not from weeping nor from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. He will make himself sick and pale. And if any other person is crying for a dead person, it means surely after a time he will be sick or he will be feel very bad. And of course, his or her health also decreased day by day. It means that अगर कोई इंसान ऐसा है जिसको ये रियलिटी समझ में नहीं आती है और वो कंटिन्यूसली रोता रहेगा अपने रिलेटिव्स के लिए या जिसकी भी उसके बिलव्ड है, जिसकी डेथ हुई है, इट मीन श्योरली एक दिन उसकी बॉडी है वो सिक हो जाएगी. He will make himself sick and pale, and of course his body will become yellow because of this grief. Yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. Lamentation means weeping or crying or showing grief or showing sorrow. If we will feel sorry for our beloved, that also no one can bring his life again. It means death never come in our life. He will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complaint and grief. He who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind, and those who overcome by these problems, those persons, they are not crying for the beloved dead persons. They can know, they can take the peace of mind, they can understand what is the reality of life, and they can live happily in their life if they will not cry. He who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and be blessed. So only those persons, those know about and those are taking, this is a simple thing of our life, they can live happily in their life.